Yeah, you guys already. I'd like to go ahead and call this meeting to order. Ask everybody to please stand. Start off with pledge of allegiance, please. Pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. If you please remain standing, we'll have a moment of silence for those serving overseas for our country and those serving here at home. Our city employees here in the city of Hazelwood, our residents, and also any of us that have lost any loved ones or friends here recently, let's please remember them also. Thank you. You may be seated. This time we'll have roll call.
Ms. Matlock? Here. Mr. Taylor?
Here.
Mr. Smith?
Here.
Ms. Hatton? Here. Mr. Hoops?
Here.
Mr. Abishon?
Here.
Ms. Wadlow? Here. Mayor Robinson?
Here.
Quorum is present.
Next, we have amendment of the agenda. Amendment of the agenda as printed. Is there any amendments?
I make a motion to amend the agenda by addition of item 9.14, a referral to the planning committee for special land use permit to the consent agenda.
Is there a second? Second. There's a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none. There's been an amendment and a second to amend the agenda as stated. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it. Next, we would approve the agenda. Is there a motion to approve the agenda as amended?
Bird file, make a motion.
There's been a motion and a second. There's been a motion and a second to approve the agenda as amended. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. The ayes have it. Next, we have amendment of the adoption of the consent agenda as printed. There's been a motion and a second to adopt the consent agenda as printed. Is there any other discussion? Any discussion? Hearing none, this is a roll call vote.
Ms. Matlock?
Yes.
Mr. Taylor?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Ms. Hatton? Yes. Mr. Hoops?
Yes.
Mr. Abishon?
Yes.
Ms. Wadlow?
Yes.
Mayor Robinson?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, on to special order of business, 5A, we have Ward 3 Council Member Leslie Henderson, oath of office. Leslie, if you please step forward.
That's down. That's.
Are you coming down? No?
Well, after.
Okay. Can you please raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear and affirm that you possess all the qualifications for your office as prescribed by the charter and ordinances of the city of Hazelwood, that you will support the Constitution and laws of the United States of America, the Constitution and laws of the state of Missouri, and the charter and ordinances of the city of Hazelwood, and that you will faithfully perform the duties of your office as Ward 3 council member for which you were duly appointed to on July 16th, 2025. Congratulations and welcome.
My family come up. Kids, I know, you don't want to. They're like, we raise pictures. Oh, I gotta say. Yeah. Oh, hey, you get to come up too if you want. She doesn't want to. She says no. I know.
Where do you want?
She wants you to sign.
I'm stressed for the gym. You're on the air.
Yes.
When you pick her.
Jennifer Kite. Thanks. Thank you. All right. Have a nice day.
That's it. Yeah. Employee introductions. We have, who would be that? We have, Amy Egan to introduce the building inspector and some other employees.
Yeah, we actually had three introductions this evening. Mayor, City Council, I'd like to do these introductions for you. Sean DeBoer, could you come up, please? Come up here, yes. Sean DeBoer is our new building inspector, a graduate of Webster University with a bachelor's in studio art and an associate's degree in interior design. Shonda brings a unique blend of creativity and technical insight to the role. Shonda has spent over a decade in the construction and property management industry, serving as an estimator, project manager, and field coordinator. Her hands-on experience has given her a deep understanding of building systems, renovation processes, and client needs. She's especially passionate about ensuring quality and safety on the job sites, and takes pride in helping bring properties back to life. Shonda is eager to expand her knowledge of building codes and local compliance standards while continuing to serve the community with excellence and integrity. Outside of work, she enjoys painting, exploring design trends, and spending time with her family. Please join us and welcome Shonda to our team.
No.
Okay. All right, thank you, Shonda. Next, we have Jose Hernandez. Can you come up and join me, Jose?
Sounds familiar, huh?
Yes.
His father was the public works director for City Hazelwood back in the 70s and 80s. Nice to see you again. Good to see you.
Jose Hernandez is a highly experienced IT professional with nearly 4 decades of work across industries like healthcare, finance, broadcasting, and corporate business. He's known for leading technical teams, managing complex projects, and solving problems effectively. His enterprise includes cybersecurity, systems administration, network infrastructure, and regulatory compliance. Jose has led major IT upgrades and ensured organizations meet standards like HIPAA and PCI. He has held leadership roles, including managing client implementations and STL communications and overseeing all tech operations at KTRS AM radio. Whether working for small businesses or large corporations, Jose brings a practical, results-driven approach that improves efficiency and delivers strong outcomes. Please help me welcome Jose Hernandez.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hold still. That's not black.
You know, but if you see.
Yeah, maybe you're right.
Do you have anybody with you, Jose?
I do not.
Okay.
Should I get someone?
Want to adopt some?
If there's somebody in the crowd you want to pick.
I'll take the back row.
Yes. Linda Trio or Heel? We are excited to welcome Linda Trujillo to our new part-time records clerk position. Linda was born and raised in St. Louis, attending the graduating school from Pattonville School District. Go Pirates. She spent most of her career as an administrative assistant in the aerospace industry until 2014, when she took a job as a records clerk at the Bridgeton Police Department. She and her husband have lived in Hazelwood for the last 12 years. She has 2 dogs. That keeps her busy, and she spends a lot of time with family. Her son and his family of 4. Is that right? Yeah. 4 grandchildren, 2 great grandchildren. Okay. Please join us in welcoming Linda Trio to our team.
Very much.
Yeah, family members
Thank you.
I don't believe so. No, you didn't bring anyone.
No.
Okay, thank you. That concludes, special business. We do have, Dave Huberty to make a report, a presentation of the fiscal year of 2023.
The extent of my report is just to introduce Molly Malone from Stop and Van Hoy, who has served as our auditor for the last 4 years. And so Molly's gonna give us a report on the audit for the June 2024 audit. Molly? Yes, I have a little bit.
Okay.
Don't trip on my. I can turn on stuff.
So aside, you just.
Yeah, I'm here. I'll get put in the full screen here in a second.
Oh, okay.
From there, then you just hit. I'm not had to turn it. All right, so I'll get on your full screen.
Perfect. Okay, I didn't bring it. Hallelujah. So this is a little bit of a history lesson. Obviously, this is from fiscal year 24. We're getting ready to start fiscal year 25. Typically, we're here a lot earlier. I did have some major medical issues that occurred, which kind of delayed us in just it's summer. So now we're coming in late, but this is just kind of bear in mind when you're looking at the information that this is going to be referring to last fiscal year, which unfortunately for you, you weren't here yet. So there's a nice read. It's 92 long pages if you want to familiarize yourself with the information, but I'll just go ahead and dig right in. So the financial statements from 24 were, we issued what's called an unmodified audit opinion. That means in our respects, after we've performed all of our audit procedures, reviewed all the audit evidence, we believe the city's financial statements to be fairly stated in accordance with United States governmentally accepted accounting principles, so US GAAP. So that's the best opinion that you can have on your financial statements. Anything kind of lower than that's kind of a no-no, but a few things to point out just on the packet itself, or the financial statements itself. The introductory section, which is located at the front of the audited financial statements. The management discussion analysis, which is on page 4 through 10, and the statistical section, which is located on pages 57 to 74. Those are prepared by management. So Dave's office does do those. And they're unaudited. We do go through and reconcile the information that's presented in there to past reports, to the current set of financial statements. We review it for accuracy, but we don't actually issue an audit opinion on that. So just kind of keep in mind that that's kind of Dave's baby part of the financial statements. That's the part that is kind of separates what we've prepared and audited versus what is just some management additions to the report itself. So the city has participated for a long time in what's called the ACFR program, the Annual Comprehensive Financial Report. It gives a bigger picture than just doing a basic set of financial statements. You're gonna have a lot of statistical information that's gonna give you a 10-year history on the finances of the city, most of which is located in the back of that report on page 57 to 74. But it picks up all sorts of items such as your revenue capacities, your debt service trends. It looks at property information or tax information. It picks up a whole history of revenues, expenses, and then it also looks at economic information on the city as well as just basic operating information. So there's the last 2 pages of the report actually kind of doesn't have anything financially related, but I think they're interesting. But it talks about how many like miles of streets you have, how many parks you have. Like it's just some of that stuff over the history of 10 years, you can go, oh wow, we've really done some improvements or there's been a lot of change to it. So that's one of my favorite, I know, my non-nerdy pages, but it does give you a little bit of information just across the board on everything about the city. The addition to I was like, did I do that? Okay. I was like, I didn't touch it. Did I just ESP this thing? The city has had pretty significant transactions within the last year or two required by auditing standards, which have picked up things such as leases and subscription-based IT arrangements. We can kind of go, I won't bore you with those details. There's a lot of discussion on what those transactions are in the notes to the financial statements. So you familiarize yourself with that. It does kind of lead into my next slide, which is talking about the key highlights and the changes. I do want to point out that I just looked through and picked up some key items that I thought were important from an operational standpoint, but also just to kind of look at some balance sheet things. Number one, the unrestricted investments increased by 4.1 million. So that's going to be an opportunity for the city to capitalize on the current interest rates and the investment income that corresponds with that. It does bring in additional revenues for your operating budget, which are passive revenues. You don't really have to do anything. So park your money there and it grows. But that increase in those unrestricted investments, actually, you can see there's a line a little further down, that resulted in investment income on governmental funds of approximately, it increased 1.4 million. So because of the increase in interest rates and the availability of investment opportunity, our portfolio was able to bring in an extra 1.4 million into the city's operational budget. In accordance with what I kind of spoke about on the previous slide for leases, the lease receivable increased by 1.3 million. So kind of to simplify it, hopefully, we do have certain little parcels of land for which maybe a cell tower or a billboard or something will be on it. It's owned by the city, and we have a long-term obligation to provide that to the renter. We now have to pick up the value of those ongoing obligations and the payments that are going to be received by those lease or lessees over the life of the lease. So it creates this really big item on the balance sheet. You're not going to have 1.3 million due to the city today. I think the longest lease that's listed on there goes to like 2040. I mean, it's really a long time. But we have to do that on both the receivable side and on the payable side. So the city is going to have their own leases and obligations and things that are going to be out there as well. But that was one of the bigger items that changed just because they're such long term. We collect a routine payment every year. It's not parcels that the city would otherwise be doing anything with, but just kind of an interesting impact. There are also on that same balance sheet corresponding inflows, which picks up, the fact that we're going to be receiving this money in the future, pretty much. Our long-term debt decreased by 1.5 million. So those were due to routine nature of just long-term debt payments on bonds, certificates for COPs, certificates of participation, and other long-term borrowings that the city currently has. 2 of which I think are becoming due very soon.
They are paid.
Yeah, they're either we were coming due or should have been paid off or have at this point.
Yeah.
The accrued interest also increased by 4.3 million. This balance is I think largely incurred as a result of those two tip notes. And then, the net pension liability increased by 3.4 million. This is a result of GASB 68, which is the special accounting rule for how you have to account for your future pension obligations. Federal grant income did decrease by 2.8 million. I'm sure as everybody knows or has seen, and either through paperwork or discussions internally, that the ARPA funding has ended and the city has expended their ARPA funding. So that was a big portion of the prior year audit. So the FY 23, we had received our last payment there. That has now been expended and the grant's finished. So that is the reason for the decrease. I already covered why investment income was up. Overall, the city had an ending increase of governmental fund balance of about 3.2 million. So it was a pretty good year. I know it's a lot of numbers, kind of this is up, this is down, but I just picked up the things that had the extra zeros on the end. There could be other things that maybe you have questions about, but if you do so, just let Dave know and we can kind of talk through if there's anything that you would want to discuss.
I have a question.
Mhm.
You're talking about a packet or documents. We don't have anything. I don't know what you're referring to.
The final audit, the act for the annual comprehensive financial report
Yeah.
was placed with the city. So I think she has that available for it, right?
I have a book.
Also, they're all of our financial statements are available on the website at any time.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a nice 92 page lengthy report, but I was pretty sure we dropped off
Yes.
all of our hard copies. Okay, so sales tax, which is a trend which we're gonna track pretty closely, just given the nature of the operating impact it has. If you have such an increase or a decrease, it is one of the general revenues that comes in that will finance city operations. We did have an increase in sales tax. Why did I not go? Oh, sleep. We did have an overall increase in sales tax. This doesn't really surprise me, and I would anticipate even in FY 25, we should have an additional increase just because the price of goods and services are more expensive now. If you go to the grocery store, you're probably paying more than you were last year or the year before. That in turn is going to result in a higher sales tax that's coming into the city because the cost of those goods that you're purchasing are higher. We did have an increase in property tax as well. I think this is partially for two reasons. Number one, economic activity taxes and pilots tax, or the payment in lieu of tax that was previously diverted due to the Mobottom TIF, that's now expired. So the city is now going to be collecting the portion of real estate tax that was previously attributed to that TIF. And number two, the assessed property values have gone up. So similar to sales tax, if your property values are higher, your property tax is going to be higher. So this would have been a very routine expected increase. I don't see anything kind of out of line, and potentially could have had even more, of an increase in the current year as well. Okay. So our overall government-wide expenses were up, which I think is attributed to a variety of a few reasons. The first being the pension expense was higher. This is a paper entry only, but our pension expense for the year was about 2.5 million. Part of that is going to consist of required contributions into that pension, but it's also going to consist of a liability or increase in the liability, which was calculated by your actuary. So it is not a check that the city is going to have to write today. And the city is completely current on every pension obligation, anything that's been required. It's just all numbers in flux. It's kind of like if you look at your own 401k, it can go up, it can go down, it can go up, it can go down. It's very similar to the way that your pension is going to work, in that it represents obligations that are going to be ongoing to current retirees you have paying in. It's just a set point in time. So your actuaries go through and they evaluate that every year for you. But this year did result in a pretty big increase to that pension liability, where they weigh the average of what assets you have in your pension plan versus what you could potentially have to pay out in the future. It doesn't take into account future contributions in. It just says, hey, as of this day today, what's our number? We also had a pretty significant increase to depreciation expense, which again, it's a non-cash expense. It's not money that went out the door, but it is going to be our use of the city's assets and us accounting for that over their useful lives. Additionally, as discussed in Dave's management discussion analysis, salaries and benefits related to fire and police were up. Police department was very much closer to being fully staffed in FY '24, and the fire department had additional firefighters available as they were funded through the federal grant program that the city participates in, the SAFER grant. So a combination of all of those items together did result in a much higher expense. It's been the highest year of government expenses that we've incurred in the last decade, but most of those are not actually cash related. They're just due to accounting adjustments. Okay, the next two slides are going to give a picture of the city's debt obligations, which, as Dave and I just discussed, the general obligation bonds, which you can see a routine debt service is just we issued, and we've been paying our payments as required by our amortization schedule. And it's the same on the COPs. So just a different type of long-term debt, but we've had routine payments that have happened across the board on this borrowing as well. This slide does cover your net pension liability. This slide has fully picked up Governmental Accounting Standards Board issued GASB number 68. They issued that and it would have been effective to the city 10 years ago. So this is a full picture. Previously, this slide only had however many years were available under this current accounting standard. But this is the first year that we've been able to put all 10 years on this slide. As I kind of stated, the city's net pension liability is calculated on a variety of different factors and assumptions, and that is located actually on page 36 in the financial statement package. Did you get a copy? But there is the assumptions and all of the things that go into their calculation of that number are located in the financial statements on that page. As I stated, every year you have an evaluation done on your pension. The actuary will determine, hey, you need to pay X number of dollars in, the city makes the payment. And then they go through the process again. As long as you have current contributions going in and you're paying out your retirees, it's just going to be a number in flux. A lot of what you see in the differences over the last 10 years is going to be based on investment. The investment income and the value of the investments. So you can kind of always follow this along with how the market's doing. If it goes up, if it goes down, if it goes up, if it goes down. So the last two slides, I'll make it short, hopefully. Audit adjustments, we did have to have quite a few closing adjustments for fixed assets, long-term debt, pension liabilities. They're items which are used, there's two different bases of accounting that have to be used in preparation. The finance department does a really good job of keeping the governmental fund basis, but we do provide quite a bit of assistance in getting them to the full-blown picture for the government as a whole. We also had some additional entries to record and some new leases that we had put on for agreements, and then additionally for I think we picked up maybe the flock cameras or something that was in a subscription-based arrangement. The only finding that we kind of had this year, and it is a repeat of last year, but I do think improvements are being made, is just to ensure that the books and records or that they're complete and accurate for financial statement preparation. We're still at a point where we're having to do a little bit too much in the closing process as far as picking them up as audit adjustments. But we've already already have a plan in place to kind of rectify that for FY 25. And we're meeting, I think, in like a month to kind of get that process started. Anybody have any questions? Is anybody awake? I know it's not exactly the most exciting stuff.
But it needs to be done, and we appreciate the work that you do.
Yeah, so if you guys happen to go back and you look through and you're like, well, I'm gonna take this report and read it on my next vacation. If that's your light reading at the beach, and you're like, oh, what does this mean? Just have Dave reach out to me, or you can ask his office and we can certainly get an answer if there's anything that you kind of come up with after the fact. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Next, we have proclamations and resolutions. We have under 6A, we have conflicts of interest resolution. Call for reading on that one.
Resolution 2508, a resolution readopting and reaffirming chapter 125 conflicts of interest of the Hazelwood City Code relative to the filing of financial interest data. Mr. Mayor and Council, if I may, decades ago, the city of Hazelwood, in accord with state law, adopted its provisions to disclose potential conflicts of interest of elected and appointed officials as permitted by state law. The state law which governs this also requires the city to reaffirm that they really meant it when you passed it as an ordinance, put it in the city code. It continues to be in the city code. It continues to be followed by the elected officials. But state law says you have to go through an exercise of saying, yeah, by golly, we really need it. So this is the semi-annual or biannual resolution to say, yes, we really meant it when we adopted it, and we really mean it. We keep it in the code, and we really mean it now. So that is what this all says. Says the stuff in the code is intentional, and we continue to want it there. I'd be happy to answer any questions I have. Those of you who have been at this, remember we do this periodically. It's an exercise for the sake of exercise. Any questions? If not, Mr. Mayor, a motion to adopt resolution 2508 would be in order.
Make motion.
Move to adopt. Motion and a second to adopt the resolution as read. If there's no further discussion, this will be a roll call vote, please.
Ms. Matlock,
Yes.
Mr. Taylor,
Yes.
Mr. Smith,
Yes.
Ms. Hatton,
Yes.
Mr. Hoops,
Yes.
Mr. Abishon,
Yes.
Mrs. Henderson, Ms. Wadlow, Mayor Robinson.
Yes.
Resolution 2508 is unanimously adopted.
Okay, under 6B, we have a resolution disavowing and reprimanding inappropriate conduct. Sad to say that at our last meeting, we had a slip up. And I need to apologize on behalf of the city and the council here at the council chambers that it even happened. It's not something that's easy to deal with. Certainly there's, I guess, things that have been going on. Those things, we all need to take a deep breath. We all need to know that we're here doing business for the city of Hazelwood. It's not about personal grievances. It's not about personal emotions. It's about getting business done here at the city. So, this did happen. I don't know, before we have the reading of the resolution, if Lisa would like to say something, this would be the appropriate time for her to say something. And then the council could follow with any comments.
On Wednesday, July 16th, I let my frustration get the best of me. I used inappropriate language toward a citizen of Hazelwood. I want to sincerely apologize to the council, to the citizens of Hazelwood, to my constituents, constituents of Ward 5 and those who witnessed the incidents on our social media platform. And to Mr. Foley, this was unacceptable, and I deeply regret my actions and truly sorry for the outburst. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Is there any other comment from city council members?
Yes, I have one.
Yes.
I want to respond to that. I was not in attendance at that meeting. But I do have a response that I'd like to read. I want to start with the facts that my husband, Kevin Foley, has regularly come before this council, not to cause problems, but to speak uncomfortable truths that some in this council simply don't want to hear. Whether he's spoken calmly, assertively, or firmly, his concerns are often met with silence, defensiveness, or outright dismissal. It's clear that his presence and words challenge the status quo. And that's exactly why the council decorum policy was created, to silence voices like his. And yet, at the very next meeting where this new decorum policy was supposed to guide behavior, it wasn't Mr. Foley who lost control. It was Councilwoman Matlock, who launched into a public profanity-laced tirade directly at Mr. Foley. In full view of residents and on record, this outburst violated the very standards she supported by the rest of us in the public to uphold. Let's not forget that Councilwoman Matlock didn't express any fear or discomfort last winter when Mr. Foley collected 3/4 of her required signatures to support her next campaign. She welcomed that help, but now with this truth-telling inconvenient, suddenly his presence is a problem. We cannot have one set of rules for residents and another for council members. If we expect the public to behave respectfully, we must lead by example. Decorum starts at this dais.
Thank you. Is there anybody else? If not, I call for the reading of the resolution.
Resolution 2509, a resolution disavowing and reprimanding inappropriate conduct.
Any further discussion? Is there a motion to adopt?
Move to adopt.
Is there a second?
Second.
Then a motion and a second. This will be a roll call vote, please.
Ms. Matlock,
I mean, yes, I guess.
Mr. Taylor,
Yes.
Mr. Smith,
Yes.
Ms. Hatton. Yes. Mr. Hoops,
Yes.
Mr. Abishon,
Yes.
Mrs. Henderson, Ms. Wadlow,
Yes.
Mayor Robinson.
Yes.
Resolution 2509 is unanimously adopted.
Thank you.